Hey, welcome. This is GevaAnn Voice of Gaia with me today, and we're looking at how to integrate the oracle energies, the solstice energies. I don't know who else had a bit of a doozy yesterday, but it was certainly fairly intense. I can't say that I had a super happy fun time, but with the help of GevaAnn and the help of a lot of processing, patience and support, but mainly with the help of GevaAnn actually yesterday, thank you, got through it. So how are we doing? What is going on for us? What do we need help with today? So those are the questions we're going to look at, as well as, what's on the move? What are we integrating?
What is now?
So before we start, we just take a moment's silence and drop in and just settle in to that peace of beingness where nothing is needed for these moments. There's just the breath. Just the space in between the in-breath and the out-breath. And just the spaciousness in that. Silence. Stillness. Feeling what arises in the heart, in the body. Allowing the thoughts in the mind to be just as they are. Like leaves in the water, with a rock in the stream. And really allowing ourselves to feel the vibrations that are here now. Emotions, thoughts, physical sensations, as though they're vibrations, not stories. Movements in the field. Not judging anything or trying to fix it or fear it or name it just yet. Just allowing it. As though there's only this moment here now. And perhaps we are both in time and outside of time. Beyond time. So throughout the transmission, as we tune in, I'm going to invite us to keep attention returning to somatic awareness. So to keep noticing the sensation of breath in the body, sensations in the body as a whole, and to welcome that as though they're just vibrations here now. So rather than focusing on the words and being too much in the cognitive, we can receive the transmissions, the energy, the support that's here for us now at an energetic level. All right, I'm just going to start by asking, what the hell just happened? All right, what was that solstice all about? Because that bowled me over, rinsed me out, and there was so much really super strong stuff came up in me. I mean, the fury, the rage. All right, the expansion. Massive, charged, body, consciousness, elemental, activatory expansion. It's like truth. Expanding out into that measureless vastness of consciousness. that is also the physical reality, my physical reality, but how I experience the physical reality. And it was as though there was a rebreathing that allowed for this phenomenal expansion to rest in truth, you know, without knowing what that means or pegging a meaning on it, in an even more physical way. As an even more physical experience. It's an emphasis on physical experience for me. Now I could go into what came up for me, which was around the inner tantra that was healing around that. But for me, that's a no-brainer, because when we rest in unity and oneness, the poles need to dissolve that charge of polarity and separation. So any inner masculine, any inner feminine charge and conflict is just going to come up. So the usual core wounds that we might be really familiar with, but which we might have revisited from different angles and dimensions, up they pop with more to offer. And I had a lot going on around the inner masculine, you know, that it's like the healed vibration came in, but that's a new thing. It was a little intangible. I couldn't really anchor into the newness that was coming in, because as soon as the expansion was rooted in my energy field, in my awareness, then so much wanted to leave all at once. And it was leaving in my body, it was leaving in my physical reality. It was like the whole strata of consciousness just went, okay, this can all go. You are going to feel it while it does, because you haven't detached from all of it yet. All right, this won't be fun. And that was my experience yesterday. So for me, it brought up a little rage, fury, and beyond the rage was grief, and beyond the grief was forgiveness. That was my little personal journey, and I get that's a personal journey. I think for each of us, this will have played out in a different way. So we won't all be working with the same themes in the same way. But what do you get, love, that's collective in this? Because, yeah, what comes for you while we're looking at this?
A bit like you, stuff came up, and mine also was fairly rageful. My sense is that we were the new energies have blasted through our last resistances. At this level of allowing these frequencies in has then they've blasted through all those pieces about being here, being human, being, yes, the whole piece really. And this is also in the elemental realms for us. It's kind of like, yeah, we've been so detached from that for so long. And that has generated its own its own rage. That is partly generating the rage, is that how we have been so detached from this aspect of ourselves. And part of us has known we've detached. No, part of us has known that we've done this.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's gone, how dare you? And that's the part that's gone, has been rageful in this it's been the piece that we have not allowed to express. And now here we are. It's like, you got no choice now, guys. You're going to express this. You're going to express this. Because these energies will not allow you to carry this any longer.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, there's a whole. And on the other side of that, now there's a massive celebration. It's like, wow, you did it. You did it. You did it. you know, because it's never certain.
Yeah.
It's never certain until we have done it, until we have stepped through something. There's no certainty that we're going to be able to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we we've gone, we've allowed those new frequencies in, we've allowed what it has expelled, we've allowed that transformation, we've taken that deep journey, we've allowed that whole process, and now there is celebration. It's like, wow, you did it, you did it, you did it, well done. Lots of dancing, lots of dancing.
Go for it. It's good to hear. Oh.
You know, it's those kind of energies that we can now have access to as well, much more of that, beyond our pain of the separation. And there is this phenomenal bliss and joy and excitement, because this is where we get to really create. This is where we get to really play in the mud and the sand and the everything, to play in as we would have done as children. You know, those go out in the mud and the rain and play and splash around and make mud pies and all of that. Those are the energies that are with us now to create. This is what we're here for, to create beyond all our old stuff that we have had to say, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And you certainly can't do that here. You certainly can't do that here. And so many of us have had that programming that you can't do it here. It isn't safe to do it here. Now it is safe. And now we are able to. And this is what we are being called to.
Yeah. Thank you so much. While you're talking, I can still feel this shakiness that's hung over from yesterday. I'm like, whoa, that feels good. Tell me more, please, because I'm still quite shaky from the process that's just gone. You know, and it's funny because the whole, like the lunar month build up to the solstice, the focus was all for me on the excitement of opening up to the elemental kingdoms, the elemental awareness, and oneness in a physicalized way. And so I was really expecting the solstice. I shouldn't have expectations, there you go, but I mean I did. I was expecting the solstice to be this, yeah. So I was a bit of a shock when it was a yeah, oh my god. What? But what I'm loving when you're talking, and what's helping me actually, is the anchoring and the delimiting of creating in the physical plane, in a physical way. So we've got a lot, we've all had a good grounding. I say we all, like we have, but you know, there's been a lot of good grounding awareness in delimiting principles of creation, understanding that we attract what's for us, that we can shift our frequency to resonate with the future we want to bring in, that we can, there's so much that we can do to delimit ourselves energetically and in awareness. And bringing that delimiting into the physical starts to get so exciting. It's like, well, that could mean things. I mean, it boggles the imagination. And, you know, if we are in a oneness state, vibratory state of oneness awareness, in resonance with our physical environment, at play with the elementals and Gaia consciousness in our creating, and we open to the infinity of possibility, you know, there's a little child in me that goes, oh, we could fly, we can teleport, we can dematerialize, we can, you know, there's a whole litany of things that I got open to when I was first awakening, that we all just went, oh yeah, of course we should be able to do that. You know, from other civilizations like Lemuria or Atlantis, where this stuff was, or Egypt, where this stuff was meat and drink, you know, and it was, God, it's an unfortunate phrase. And isn't it? But it's, what I'm realizing is that there is a gentle delimiting of the consensus acceptance of what is possible, that we can't suddenly all together enter a reality where, of course, we know we can magic ourselves invisible if we want to. We can throw our voice. We can do all of what used to be called, and for so long has been called, conjuring tricks, and used in that way as kind of freak show performance type stuff. It's got that kind of connotation, whereas actually, if you disconnect from the excitement around phenomenon for phenomenon's sake, and stop seeing these things as phenomenon full, but actually as a normalized, naturalized birthright of parts of our divine template for being human coming online. It's actually going to be naturalized to be able to function in these ways and more that I can't even imagine. It's not about the what of it, it's more about the why. Why are we creating? Not what are we creating, why are we creating? And it's like asking that question shifts the frequency. It lifts us into a higher vibrational resonance. And I keep getting the catch-22. It's like, if we forget about how we're creating and we ask about why are we doing something we want to do, that is going to open up. We said this before, I'm sorry guys, but that is going to open us to the phenomenon and the magic. It's going to delimit the magic that's possible. And as individuals, each of us individually have encounters where we lift the why of our creating into a higher frequential resonance. We're shifting the vibratory resonance of our creating. So we're going to open to what we would call now magic, but was actually just bloody science at work. You know, it's the technology of consciousness. We're going to open to magic that's going to surprise us. And that's the gentleness of delimiting consensus beliefs around what is and isn't possible. So very gradually, by playing, by refining, why are we bringing something into being? And of course, you know my song. I'm always going to say, well, the highest refinement from this perspective of why you bring something into being is to align with the truth of who we are, our soul, our essence, the shape of who we are, and as one within all that is, the resonance, the signature resonance we have, the note we are in the song of creation happening. Right. Okay, that's what comes for me. Can we hear from the elementals? Have they got something to say? Can I make demands, or do we need to just have a more specific, helpful question?
A helpful question is good.
Well, in that case, guys, I mean, at this point, I want to know, for those of you who are here, how has your solstice been? And does it bring up questions about the creative possibilities, or even the healing challenges that are kind of here now for you, for us? So if you've got questions, type them in the comments, and we should be able to see them just while we're chatting. If something occurs, don't feel under pressure, but do let us know what's here now. Because I think I've been through it, you've been through it. I've spoken to more than one other person who's been through it. You know, the challenging and the beautiful. So just how are we, and what's going on for us now? And do you have a question for the elementals? Either or. So what's now?
They're here.
Yeah, I know, I can feel it. Yeah. Cute.
Okay, I'll just let them speak. It's easiest.
Thanks, love.
I have no idea what this is going to be. So Oh, beloved ones, it is so delightful to be with you, to speak with you, to share with you at this time. We would bring to your awareness that you are indeed magical beings. You have forgotten for so long that you are magical beings. And part of your magic is that you are masters of your own physicality. By this we mean your bodies first and your environment second. It is that you truly are in control of your body in terms of allowing and giving instruction to it to remember that it is a self-healing vehicle. You and your body have forgotten that your body is a self-healing, perpetuating vehicle. And you can remember this and give instructions to your body to come into harmony and balance in the cell of the body. To remember that there is a need to repair, to ever keep renewing and repairing the elementary canal, for instance, the liver, all your organs are always renewing and repairing. If you ask them to repair in the way that enables a higher level, and this is you requesting, that it repairs to the blueprint of the healed whole human. For you have always changed your blueprint along the way so that the body reheals in that pattern. So as your mind says, I am sick, your body is sick. And then, as you know, there are many emotions and things that come in the way of this. But for the moment, we wish to remind you that you are in charge of your physical body first. Your physical reality. This does include your environment, but first we wish you to focus on your body. Start here. Remember that you are in charge of the cells of your body. You can give it instructions. It does not have to keep repeating the old pattern. Just as you haven't had to keep repeating the old patterns of behavior that you have learned have not served you, it is the same process within your bodies. And as you come and land completely in the elemental and in the physical realm, you are much more able to achieve this. For you are bringing in those new frequencies. And yes, your body will change with just bringing in the new frequencies. But if you give instruction, then it can change in the way that you wish it to. Oh. Thank you. We step aside now, for there are others who wish to speak. The dragons are present.
Ah, it's gone big. Yeah. Yeah. So this is activating the dragon consciousness within each of us. So stay with how we're feeling on the inside while these rather expansive activations are in the field. Yeah. I would suggest an emphasis on breathing and expansion. GevaAnn, I think you'll bring the words through on this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are present with you. We are here to assist at this time. For indeed there is an opportunity to expand your awareness more deeply into dragon realms. Allow yourselves to be at one with dragonkind. We are here to hold you. In great love, we hold you. We support you as you remember yourselves at this level of being. It is much easier for you as you are more anchored in your physical body for you to expand into the dragon realms. Holding your center anchor points and allow the expansion. Allow the remembering of when you have been at one with dragonkind. When you flew, as we fly. When you dive deep into the oceans, as we do. When you melded closely with the land, as we do. And indeed, as you transformed in the fire, as we do. Allowing these memories for they assist in informing you We are here to assist you to embody the vaster frequencies, so to speak, that are needed in creation. For you create in vastness as well as detail. We have been asleep to you for so many eons of time. Forgotten, but we have always been here, for Gaia never forgot us. We have always assisted Gaia in creating the reality that you dwell within, whilst you slept, forgetting that you were instrumental in the design and creation of this reality. And now you are awakening to that memory. And we have been able to awaken as more and more of you have awoken. We have become present with you again. We thank you. For it delights us to be present with you. And there is much to create, much that you are dreaming to create in the vastness of this reality. That is Earth within Gaia. Allow yourselves to rest within your vastness, within your dragon being sense. For you all have them. This may feel strange to you at first, but as you remember, unlocking the memories, it will become more comfortable, and you will be able to dream the dreams relevant to the vastness. And remember, for they are creating, and it is time for you to be aware and create consciously. Thank you.
So just allowing ourselves to rest deeply in the resonance that's in the body now, that's here now. Just breathe, feel, allow. Maybe even keeping the eyes closed if you're really present with this. If you can feel something inside, connecting to that. And when you're ready, keeping the head tilted downwards, just open the eyes a little, but without losing that inner feeling connection. So that as you lift your eyes to take in more of the room, you're not leaving that behind. And then I would give the innate and the highest of the instruction to let this continue to be here. Whatever was received, felt or not, recognized or not, to let it continue to integrate, continue to be here. Wow, thank you. And Jana, I love your question. We are going to put that up in a moment. Before we do, can I invite us into a cellular resonance activation meditation? I mean, when the elementals were talking about talking to your body, it felt like we could, and they're talking about the divine blueprint and asking. See, one level is we ask to restore. We talk to the body and ask the cells to be restored to their, I would call it the divine blueprint, but they called it, what did you get? The wording was your natural highest,
original, yeah.
natural highest blueprint for wholeness or something, wasn't it? It was, yeah. So we'll do a little meditation to drop into the resonance of opening that gateway to source in the cells. Well, we're dropping into the resonance of the divine blueprint at a cellular level. Does that feel like where we're going, GevaAnn, or is there someone else to speak before we do?
No, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're up to, isn't it? Let's do that.
Yeah,
okay,
there's a whole, yeah. There's an auditorium full of people watching, but that's okay.
Oh, beautiful. All right, so let's, yeah, okay. So this is the demo of what the elementals were talking about. We can just ask and invoke. Know that that is enough. We can also rest in the resonance of our divine blueprint at a cellular level. So let's drop in now. So taking these moments to close the outward-facing eyes and make an intention. Knowing that as we make an intention, part of us will carry that out if it's for us. To let go of worrying, has it happened, but I'm in my mind, none of that matters. Okay. Make the intention and return attention to notice the sensation of breath in the body and the sensation in the body as a whole throughout this next meditation. Okay, so making the intention to turn those outward-facing eyes inwards and drop ourselves into the seat and center. Opening this gateway in the heart to the infinite, the all that is, that we also are. And making the intention as we breathe to breathe in from that infinite, unconditional love, to breathe in from source into the gateway in the heart, to allow the heart to fill and expand. And trust that. Allow the heart to fill and expand. Allow the body and the body energy field to fill and expand with qualities that are for us in the moment. We're not needing to know what those qualities are in the same way we don't need to know the functionality of each cell. That's known in our innate intelligence. We're just choosing the direction. We're opening to the all that is. And as we're breathing in what's for us, into the heart, the body, and the body field, we're letting go of what's not into the all that is. Not making that happen, of course. We're aware that it is happening. giving permission for what's not aligned with our highest truth to be recognized, shall we say, is what gets breathed out, what gets released. So just staying with this breath, opening to notice that flow of the breath, as though there's nothing more in the moment except this flow of the breath from the heart, from that gateway to the infinite, and returning from the heart and returning. And we no more know what's carried in than we know the chemical constitutions of every cell in the body. Opening now to expand our awareness to notice the sensations in the whole body, in the body as a whole, not naming them or identifying them or isolating them, but noticing that there are sensations that are happening in the whole body now. This body is a field of sensations. Don't worry if we're not experiencing them. We can accept that maybe they're happening even if we're not feeling them intensely. And just letting our attention now expand to include the awareness that there are cells in this body. This body is made up of cells, uncountable cells, more than we can imagine, but there they all are. And we know they're there. So holding this in our awareness. And just as there is a center in ourself, in our heart and in our energy field, and the cell that we are, opening to the possibility now there is a center in every cell in the body that also can be and is a gateway to the infinite. Giving permission now, acknowledging that all of everything is breathing the breath of life, breathing and renewing, taking in what's for it, releasing what's not, setting the flow in the cell to open the gateway to the infinite in the center of each cell and breathe in from the infinite what's for that cell. Releasing back to the infinite what's not. Let's focus on what we're breathing in. Just making an intention. We're not trying to make this happen. We're just allowing the awareness of the breath that is happening in every cell to be present for a moment here. Not the doers, not forcing this. Opening to just the possibility of this here now. In this moment, we can make requests. Well, I ask for balance and equilibrium in this particular area. Or we can be more general. I ask for balance and equilibrium where it is needed. I call for grace in the stories that are alive in the body field right now. See, a lot of our body dissonance is a way of us dialoguing and learning through karma. Oh, right. The stories of my past are visited upon my present and they will change my future. What we're doing here now is opening to the infinite possibility of now, allowing in grace from the eye beyond stories, so that we stop using our stories and the stories arising in our body field as a way of learning and evolving, and we ask to be shown instead. I rest in the truth. Show me the truth and I will rest in it. And we're doing this at a cellular level, so don't worry about following these words. It's enough to be here, stay with the breath, and allow. Show me the truth, and I will rest in it at a cellular level. I welcome the breath of life through the heart gateway to source, in the center of every cell in my body. I call for equilibrium. And I surrender my attachments to what's keeping me from giving permission for harmony. Okay, suddenly got very busy in the field, so we're all kind of engaged in some specific activity, each of us. So let's give ourselves these moments to receive and allow what we've called for to be here now, trusting the support that's with us, knowing that there are fine-tunements and attunements happening while we are simply resting in the divine resonances of our natural blueprint. You're never calling for more than we can integrate. We'll never get really more than we can. I allow the transformation that is happening now. I allow for the possibility that change is now. Okay, because that gives more permission. And I trust in the harmony of the integration process as a divine natural harmony in my human blueprint reasserts itself where it is welcome and able to. I trust in the harmony of this process. So what we're saying here is that we're calling for gentle integration. And we can call now for support at all levels. Now, as we call in support, we give permission for those who are helping us in this healing process, cellular rebreathing from source process. And that means even more is possible. So we give ourselves a few more moments just to allow what's here now. A lot of that support will be in transmuting what gets pushed up to leave, because as we expand, the old gets pushed to the surface to be cleared. So a lot of the support is going to include transmuting the old that's leaving from our cellular fields. So we don't all have to rush off and go into detox programs because we've initiated energetic cellular healing. I should say cellular equilibrium. Okay, so just staying with it for a few more moments, allowing these precious integrations to go on. These are just supportive frequencies. They'll only land with you if they're for you. And remembering for all this beautiful technical reconfiguration, what we're really calling in is the restoration of love, the love that is, to return to and restore harmony to where it hasn't been exactly itself for a while. Okay, this is the absolute foundation of the why of this and the what of this. So sure, it's technical, but it's coming from, is held within, and is made of and returns us to love, the love that we truly are. Naina, Jana, Tahama, Nihinak, Ishtakata Ahinama. This is lovely because while this was going on, you know, there's a There's a micro and the macrocosm. You were talking about this, GevaAnn, and there's healing at cellular level, but it's connecting to us as planetary consciousnesses. It's taking that cellular model of the consciousness we are, and it's connecting the downstepping degrees through the dimensions of consciousness that we've journeyed through as an individuation in order to be here humanly now. And it's beautiful, that connection between the cells in our body and the movements in the cosmos. So they're just bringing in that little, pointing at that, touching on that for a moment. Part of the reconnectivity awareness that's naturally what opens when we open to the divine blueprint at any level. Okay, so I can feel this now rolling to a gentle close. So I'm just going to invite us to sit and stay with the vibrations in the body. Take a nice breath, bring it back to how the body is making contact with the physical environment. You know, those skin and surface sensations, those gravity and weight sensations. And if your eyes are closed, before opening them, I suggest taking a mental stock of what's in your immediate environment, assume you knowing it before you shut your eyes, what's around you. And that animal, yeah, no, I'm physically safe in my body here now, thanks. And then very gently, just again, tilting the head, opening the eyes a little, but staying with how we feel on the inside and keeping track of that. The vibratory activity or the emotions or what's moving. Just to notice, just to be that notice and now. Okay. So we're going to carry on. We're going to open to channel, and I'm going to suggest staying very firmly anchored in your inner experience, the breath, sensations in the body, while we continue to bring more transmissions into the field. Because this activity I can feel, what we open to there at cellular level is continuing, the support is continuing, and yes, the integration, for those of you who are open to this work, will also be continuing. And if you're not, just don't worry about it. The higher self stores this stuff for when it's time. It's, you know, it can store it for later, it can store it for another time, or it can just say, no, you don't need that, it's fine, don't worry about it. And just trust that we each get what's right for us. That's a suggestion from me. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for being with that. Where's Jana? So, are we going to Jana's question now, or are there more messages to come in?
Yeah, let's have a question. Sorry.
Oh my God, we've been going for 53 minutes. Right, okay, sorry about that. I didn't even notice the time was moving like this. Okay, right. Jana, thank you. How do I better understand or allow the impulses of the present moment? Or is this slow quietness I experience still necessary? Thank you. Beautiful. All right. I think I want to make a response on this, GevaAnn, unless you're coming in.
Yeah, I think you've got it. Yeah.
Okay, love. Okay, Jana, so just if you're here, if you've managed to stay with us this long, then let's just sit together for a moment in connection. So there's this emptying out, you know, in that slow quietness you speak of, there's an emptying out of the to-do list, of obligations, of a sense of what must be done, of So we're just speaking to that emptying out. What must be done? Where do I need to go? What am I planning? And in the slow quietness, it's almost like we're sinking like a pebble to the bottom of a pond. And all that sense of what must be done rises up like bubbles to the surface. And everything that was trapped in those bubbles, when those bubbles hit the air, drops down to the bottom of the pond, and we collect that energy that was caught up in the mustness that's normal, running, rushing energy. The more space we give, not necessarily time, but definitely space we give to being in that, being at the bottom of the pond, letting ourselves utterly drop into, in this moment, I am enough for this moment. I have done enough for this moment. And I have enough for this moment. And quite often when we say those things, we can feel vibrations in the system, but rather than going with them, we can be the pebble at the bottom of the pond, waiting for those bubbles to release all the tension until there's no more vibrations when we say those words. And it's just this of enoughness. When we're really in our body while we do this as well, when we're feeling that physically present, we let that dropping really enter the body drops with that. That's when the reset happens. That's when the renewal happens from I must do something to if nothing is needed of me, what could I do? And that is what resets the body's impulses. But quite often, that's when an impulse in that empty space arises with, oh, I could. The, oh, I could comes from the absolute playfulness of creation that the elementals were talking about earlier. Creation that comes from a place beyond needlessness. So first we drop ourselves into the needlessness of now. We let go of there being anything to do. And the mind will argue quite a lot with that. So it's like, well, I've got a long to-do list. What do you mean there's nothing to do? I don't believe you. So we really have to be with that until the mind is given up trying to knock on our head and say, oi, what do you think you're doing sitting down? Come on, things to do. Until we've really empowered the pebble at the bottom of the pond, thanked the mind and told it we'll get back to it later. When we've really let go, there's a space free from need. And in that space, that is when the impulse for new creation arises. It's in the energy system, it's like it goes from the sacral, where the pebble in the bottom of the pond is, drops down to the root. And then when that moment comes of the breath of creation and the inspiration that comes from all the tips, rises up and takes us. Something comes that's unexpected. It comes from the more of us, not the mind. It comes from playfulness. And it rises up from the root, and it actually gives us an upward, energized impulse in the body that can be connected to a creative impulse. This is what you're for right now. This is an alchemical reset to align our impulses. And then the more time we spend in beingness, the more we can trust our physical impulses. Like, that is the short version. That was the long alchemical version. Now, for most of us, I'm going to mute myself and hand over. Would you mind, GevaAnn? I'm being interrupted. Your turn. Go.
We first have to come to a stillness point before we can allow that rising of action to come. We've been so used to acting high up without dropping into the stillness. So, and it takes time. It takes time. Because every time we're dropping into that stillness point, we are allowing a clearing, a resetting of all that to do, I must do that happens, or has happened and driven us for so long. So I am fully aware of how frustrating it is to have to be still. It's been my story also. And being still with and dropping in, and then allowing that movement of the action to arise. And yes, sometimes it takes a while for that to happen. But at the end of it, you know that the action you're taking is the action that you're needing to take. It's not the action that your mind's saying, keep busy with. And suddenly a whole host of things that you thought were very important have just dropped away. So, hope that helps.
Thank you, love. Yeah, thank you. It's like when I'm aligned with my highest creative truth, like that's an automatic thing. It isn't. But it's like I can feel, so if the more I drop into beingness, the more what I thought I was going to do today or in this sequence or in this order falls away, and something comes in. And it's in that emptiness, something comes in, and I connect with that more easily when I'm waking up. And it's kind of like I'll have this about the day. And in this, I don't want to. And in the kind of that lovely few moments before waking up where I'm not actually doing anything or thinking much, my brain's not in gear yet, there's almost an aimlessness and something drops in and I'll suddenly start thinking about something. Before I know it, I've jumped out of bed. And that's I love it when that happens. But what that's a demonstration to me of is something I do consciously in meditation when I'm doing that. Drop into beingness, empty out, drop into needlessness. And I can feel then when what the energy is for. It's like, well, the energy is for the washing up. No, it's not. It's you're getting on a bus, you're going to Granada. Okay, fine, I'm doing that now. It's like, well, the washing up might be doing, but apparently I'm not doing it now. And then later, the energy will come through for that. And it's that weird alchemy of you have to let go of doing anything in order to get stuff done. You don't have to. This is just one way. This is the way that I've worked with. So that would be what you get from this end, Jana. Okay, thank you so much for your question.
Thanks.
Oh no.
You're right.
Fine. Trying to take the thing off. Technical today has just been fun. There we go.
Okay.
Just taking a moment to integrate. Something from Sirius. The cat has gone all super focused, and that always makes me ask, is there something from the Sirius family? And I'm getting a big yes.
Okay.
You want to bring it through?
Oh, they're yours, lovely. You're bringing them in.
Oh, come on. Oh, it's your turn, isn't it?
Okay, all right. Let's see who are they choosing?
I'll stop play fighting and actually listen.
Yeah.
Is it me? Is it you? It's me. Is it you? Okay, it's more you than me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. And thanks.
That's okay. Okay.
Oh, Jana, so welcome. Love your questions so much.
Yeah. And so we are here with you. So we are here with you. We have never left. We have always been here with you. Thank you for allowing us to speak at this time, for it is that we would wish to bring you assistance in the form of frequency that is available to you at this time to integrate all that you have received here now, all that is here for you now, that you are ready and able to receive here now. And we offer our assistance. There is an alignment for you. Within the Sirius systems, we bring an alignment of assistance to you. Connecting you to the truth of who you are beyond Gaia. Your higher selves will assist you in receiving this. Your higher selves first align and then bring the information that you need and the frequencies you need to enable you to fully integrate. Your higher selves always have your best interests at heart. You may trust this. Thank you. Wow.
Mm. 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 Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm.
Wow.
So the divine human blueprint is what allows us to live humanly as a divine multidimensional vastness we also are. So aligning with our truth is about aligning with the self beyond the stories, but also allowing for our human experience to come online and into sympathetic resonance with that, and allowing for the templates and the scripts that are overlays upon that natural blueprint that have arisen throughout our stories of forgetting who we truly are, to have somewhere to go home to, and to have a resonance that reminds them that they're not the highest truth and there's time to come home, like mama calling in the children, but also this, to have a space from which the replacement templates, the ones that hold us in our human capacity for divinely experiencing ourselves, can be rewoven and come into being. And so when we let go of scripts, when we let go of stories, when we let go of our past, there's something here now that's already replacing the old that's leaving. And it holds us both in that leaving, but also in the integration of the new. It holds us in a resonance, a harmonic resonance of wholeness that can be humanly connected, experienced, and felt, but certainly We can be humanly supported within. So, and this all comes from within. This work is not about delivering things from above onto. It's all about opening us to what we have within us, this limitless capacity for wholeness, and what that means now and here and over there. So thanks, guys. It's been really beautiful to sit with you.
Indeed.
And GevaAnn, thank you so much for doing
Thank
the
you.
channeling.
It's been great fun. Thank you very much.
I just got the feeling there were more guides there that we could have been talking with. Like there was just so many more.
Well, there was loads. There was loads. It's just a case of, you know, what is needed. Yeah.
We could have just gone on and on and on and on and on. I kind of want to, but I feel like we should also wrap it up for the sake of keeping energetic integrity. So maybe next time.
I think so. Yeah, they'll be back. They'll be available.
Right. Well, thank you to all the benevolent beings of unconditional love who's connected with us. Nina, Jana, and Carla. It's lovely to hang out with you guys. Yeah, I know you don't get a lot of time, Carla, so I'm so grateful that you give us some of yours. Thanks for being here. Thank you. So much love.
Thank you.